Motion passes. Next is the consent agenda. Entertain a motion to approve that.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second. Been moved to second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. Motion passes. Anybody here from public like to speak something not on the agenda? Seeing none. Old business employee survey. In your packet, you'll see the proposed employee survey from the company that is facilitating that for us. Scott and Julie have been working on it diligently for the past couple months actually, to formulate questions along with Lynn and Glenn. And this is kind of the proposed survey that I believe the committee would like to see put out to the employees. Scott, Julie, you guys have anything to add to that?
Well, we just wanted to bring it before the council so they could have a chance to look it over, see if they think there's any additions or omissions that need to be done. And once it's okay with everybody, and then send it out.
Any other comments with this agenda item? None? Council discussion?
I was good with it.
Probably want to vote to approve this survey to be sent out to the employees. We'll entertain a motion.
I move to adopt the survey questions as submitted.
Second.
Move to second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. Motion passes. Next agenda item, I have to recuse.
New business ordinance number 1493. It's a rezoning ordinance. From a single-family residential R1B to a two-family residential R2.
Correct. Yes. So, like I said, this is ordinance 1493. This was heard at Planning Commission on May 14th. It was voted on and passed with a 4-0 vote, unanimously in favor, to rezone the property at 1408 10th Street to R2, which is duplex. We didn't have anybody from the community that came out that was upset or anything like that. So,
Has it currently got buildings on
it did have a building on it, and they tore that building down. It was an old shed that you really didn't know was there because the trees and all that stuff had grown up around it. They went through and they cleaned up the property. There's a foundation that's left, but they've been cleaning it up and maintaining it. And
What's going to be built?
it would be a duplex.
Is that a standard city lot size, or is it?
Yeah, it's an oversized lot.
It's an oversized.
Yep.
Is it just going to be one building, or is it going to be multiple?
At this point, I don't know. I mean, I would think that it would, right now it's just one, it's one parcel. So
Right.
at this point, the only thing they could do would be able to build one duplex.
Has it got its own entrance, private entrance, off the street?
It doesn't truly have its own entrance yet, but they would be making an entrance.
And that can be done.
Oh, yeah.
No sidewalks there.
There is no sidewalk on either side
Yeah,
of
that's
10th,
right.
of 10th Street.
That's right.
So are they going to have to submit a site plan for
No.
us to approve?
They would not have to submit a site plan because it's it's a residential dwelling. If it were commercial, then they would have to submit a site plan on that.
Okay. So what I'm wondering is if the driveway is going to be off of 10th Street or if it's going to be off of Orange.
It would have to be off of 10th because their property doesn't go to Orange Street.
Oh, it doesn't go all that way.
Huh.
It's
Oh,
behind
okay.
what they call the chicken.
It's, yes, correct. So their true entrance would be off of 10th Street.
The only concern I have about that is that the people on 10th Street have been very vocal about the traffic that's on 10th Street. So if we've got more people emptying out on 10th Street, just wondering what the residents around there are thinking.
I sent out mailers, and then I did the public notice in the paper, I think it was in there 22 days prior to the meeting. We had one individual that actually showed up from the community that lives across the street from it. He just wanted to know what it was about. When he showed up before the meeting and I talked with him, and he left before the meeting started, so he was okay. He needed more clarification. But I haven't got any other feedback outside of that individual on the property.
Have you gotten any feedback since, I know that the feedback we got was on that rezoning of that section down Orange off of 10th
For the storage
for
units.
the storage units. That's
Right.
where the traffic was a big concern.
Right.
And so I didn't know if you had anything since then about traffic, because we're talking, probably a duplex, so two residences on that side, where there's really none till you get to north to
Monroe.
the other side of it, yeah.
Yeah.
So how big is that one exactly?
I'm not for sure exactly. I would say it's probably maybe a half acre or a little less than that. There's actually, so if you drive by it, Newton Street actually extends through it. So it looks like it's really big, but Newton Street is still a platted street through there because one, we have sewer through there, and two, we have water that's coming through there. And I think there's a little bit of fiber that actually comes through there that it's been utilized for.
Which side
Because
it
I
comes
thought it
in.
looked like it was big.
It comes in, well, the sewer has an angle with how it comes through Newton Street through there, and the water. There's a couple valves that are placed there too, and it kind of has an angle
Are
too.
they in the road for construction?
I'm sorry,
Are
what?
they in the way of construction?
No, they wouldn't be in the way of construction because it would
If
be
Newton existed, they would be on the corner of 10th and Newton.
correct.
Yeah.
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 Any other comments for us?
I don't know.
Questions? All right. Any other council comments? Thanks, Fred.
Thanks.
Council comments?
I just thought it was a bigger lot than that, so I didn't.
Yeah, because
No,
that
but
street
that-
should be there, and you can't tell there's a street there.
Right.
And everything. So it looks big.
So I thought there were going to be multiple
Right.
buildings.
Yeah. Anybody feeling a motion about the rezoning ordinance?
I move to adopt.
Accept it.
Okay, I think I heard Jerry move to accept the rezoning ordinance as presented.
Second.
Susan seconded. We need a vote, roll call vote, so we'll go this way. Haley,
Time.
an aye,
Aye.
Aye.
5-0. The mayor back into the proceedings.
Council committee reports, budget and finance, Scott.
We did meet, and we had conversation around the electric utility PCA formula. We're trying to determine if that is accurate and appropriate. We're still looking at it. We're gonna get some help from KMEA to dig into it. So I think what we're finding, we don't have all the details yet, is that, the thought was a PCA formula was creating a gap to where we needed to be at the end of the year. So we're looking into that. I think it's probably gonna be that and/or the rates. Probably are not where they should be to get to where we need to be at the end of the year. if you remember, we put in the water ordinance change resolution where we added that 3% annual inflation index. I think we probably should have done that for electric for this year as well. And we may have to do something mid-year depending on what we find out related to the projections of where we're gonna end up versus what we're currently charging. So that's ongoing. We need to figure it out as quickly as possible so we have some time if we need to make a course change to impact the fund for the rest of the year. Any comments about that?
What percentage we thinking about?
Don't know yet.
Haven't got that far.
Now, we're trying, we should get more this Friday. I think we should have a good idea this Friday to figure out, if there is a gap, what's causing it, and then what potential remediation would be.
It's just got a history on it, like 4 or 5 years back,
What do you mean?
where it hasn't been done before.
Well, this formula's been in place for a long time.
Has not changed for a period of time.
Hasn't changed for 15 years.
That's
sorry.
part of the process.
Hasn't changed for 15 years.
So,
15 years.
yeah, I'm talking about the rates and the,
And the PCA.
yeah. So just common sense, if you think about that.
Those rates and
Yeah, nothing's changed in at least 15 years.
Since 2010 was the last. rate
2010,
increase.
okay, 14 years. So,
That's why there was a problem.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think, I think we're gonna find out that our rates are not where they should have been this year. We may need to do something, but we need to make sure that the formula is not causing a problem either. So, stay tuned, we'll bring back the results and recommendations, obviously with, I think, KMEA's help, with Ben, our financial advisor's help, Glenn and Jeff from the utility, we'll figure it out and come back with a plan.
we have discussed before on cost of purchasing electricity from other agencies. Has any of that changed? Is that
Yeah, good
still the same?
segue. Good segue. So we did get an update from Glenn around I think we have 5 purchase power agreements in place that are long-term contracts that specify a minimum amount of power we have to take at a price. The largest one, what's it called? KRD? GRDA. So GRDA,
Grand River?
it expires at the end of 26?
March 26th.
March 26th, so kind of beginning of 26, so next year is the last year for that contract.
And that's a three,
It's 3 megawatts.
yeah, 3 megawatts.
Yeah. So, I know Glenn and Jeff are working to try to get a proposal from them as early as we can to see what they're thinking about a renewal, what that would look like as far as minimums, pricing, term, all that, so we can try to make a decision on either renewing that or replacing that 3 megawatts. That decision this year, I think, would be helpful and not wait to get pushed into a corner and have to make a decision. So that's ongoing. I think, Glenn, any idea when we might see something from them?
We already have it.
So we do have it.
We have it.
Okay, so we'll be able to take a look at that.
Can you tell us what it is?
Listen, if he's looking at it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've
not
seen
here,
it.
it's contractual terms, I'd rather not do that.
Okay. So,
We'll go over it
yeah,
before, you have to vote on it.
I don't-
Personally, sitting here as we're sitting now,
yeah.
I would hate to lose that.
I haven't seen it, don't know. I think we need to figure out what's best for the city. And it depends,
Well,
it
this
depends
is
on what
true.
the other options are, right? If they're,
I think I just said for what I know right now sitting here, but there are things that would change.
right.
I'm not saying cut and dry,
Yeah.
I assume
but
you
as I
guys.
said, I would like to see it.
Yeah.
We were talking about, there's multiple options.
Right.
What to do. So it's just trying to figure out
We'll have to bring it to
what
finance.
options will work out the best for the long term.
Or the short term.
short-term and long-term.
Right. I think the term of the contract is going to be the biggest issue. You're going to be locked in for 20 years, like all of them, right? So,
I know the GRGA, you don't have to necessarily do all 3 megawatts, you can do
Right.
partial and other things, so. Yeah, it's kind of a complicated
Yeah.
thing to figure out.
I'm kind of with Jerry though, a little bit. I mean, we're only gonna grow, so I hate to give up that 3 megawatts.
What do you mean you're with me a little bit? Either you are or you ain't.
Well, Jerry, with you, I keep 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I gotta be able to pull up one of the feet.
Easiest commitment.
take what you can get. So that was the extent of the discussion in that committee. Next meeting will be this Friday, 7:30 a.m., second floor.
Yeah, we met yesterday, just had a couple agenda items. One, we went over both, the rec sent over a couple of management and operational agreements for the pool as well as the Sullivan Square. We never really had one in place, so I did kind of send over a rough draft of what they thought looked good. Kind of went over it and sent back some possible feedback. It all looked pretty standard, basically everything that they've been doing up till now. It's just in black and white. And then we got a couple updates on the community center. Let's see here. Mezzanine's completely done. Sports equipment arrives on Wednesday, so tomorrow. And then we took a little field trip over there and walked around. It's going along real well. But they're thinking now August, probably the completion date. But they got the windows all opened up, so it's really bright in there. It's bigger than it looked on paper.
Yeah,
So has there been a contract settled as far as what the rec is going to do as far as charges and things?
That has not been finalized yet. I think that's still kind of being tossed. Last we sent over back to them, they wanted to make some adjustments for what,
The management side of
as
it.
far as, what they're going to charge for rentals
Side.
and stuff.
So the only contracts they've got sent over is the management side, not the fee schedule.
Because I'm wondering about the fee schedule that I've seen,
Me
because
too.
I thought
That's
the
all.
whole premise of that was that it wasn't going to be, citizens weren't going to be charged to use it.
Well,
For events, they will be.
Yeah.
Because that's the
For
opportunity.
events.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if somebody, what I saw, if somebody wants to rent it, just to rent it, not for an event, but for like 2 hours or whatever.
Mhm.
So then it's gonna be closed for the community to use it.
Which is why you have to charge for it.
Right.
Yeah. There's the opportunity cost for being open for free. You have to supplement somewhere. You're taking away the cost of the use of it. That's why they to operate it, they want to charge for those events.
when we first set up the fee stuff, the main premise for the fees was if it's free for the public to use or to come to whatever event, I think it was really no charge. But if it closed down or if it was a ticketed event, then that's when the charge came. So
You're
that
taking
way-
away from open gym hours, you're taking away
Yes.
from.
No,
I saw, if you're gonna play pickleball, you gotta pay for the court, so much an hour. Well, what happens to the guys that wanna play volleyball or basketball or other
well, yeah, it's taken
activities
away.
maybe taking place?
I mean, I'm sure you're talking about the community center? I thought you were talking about the Sullivan Square.
No, it's communities.
Oh, okay. No, that has not been finalized. That is, but their proposal, yeah, Corey's right. I mean, the intent is it takes away from the public being able to use it, there's a charge for it. But if it's, they do pickleball free to the public and anybody can come in there and use it, then it should be free.
If it was free to just use it and rent for 2 hours, I mean, nobody would be able to use it ever. It'd just be a
You
rental
rent
space.
it out all the time.
It'd just be, just be a free rental
So does the
space.
city have any final approval of amount of
Yes.
non-rental time? Or, so many hours a week or a day need to be not rentable?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I don't know about fees if we want to get involved in that, but at least have some say in how much free time is available to the public.
Right.
They haven't even sent over their initial
Right, but I
agreement.
just want to make sure
Oh, yeah.
that the
That's
city
fine.
can
That's what I was.
have a say.
Yes, no. We made it
People
clear.
can't go in and
Okay.
use it because it's rented out
Yeah.
all the
Right.
time.
No, that's,
So there'll
that's
be
not in the spirit of what the.
non-rentable hours, I think we need to,
Yeah.
what does that look like?
Right.
They're professionals that, they'll have a recommendation of what makes sense and.
Yeah, the only thing that's been discussed is when it is rented, what the city might get out of that percentage of those rentals type deal as a compensation, how much they want to operate from the city out of that budget. I mean, that's more covered a budget than anything, but yeah, no, as far as the windows in which you can rent it, that has not been established yet. That'll come as time.
Just presume for a moment that it's completed and it's open to people who are renting it and stuff. Who's responsible for the janitorial services, for the cleaning of the bathrooms and cleaning up after everything? Who's responsible for that?
So, for events or just regular daily use?
Regular daily use or any events that takes place?
There was a budget.
We are,
line item for
it's
that.
in the pro forma.
I'm sorry?
We have responsibility for maintenance and cleaning.
The city does?
Yeah.
So
If it's
is this-
rented out for an event though.
Is this mean we're hiring other employees?
I don't know that we've discussed how that is gonna work. Yeah.
Is it public works that you're gonna have to do?
Yeah, I mean, it'll either be a current city employee group or we'll have to hire it out.
Have our cleaning service. and-
Yeah, we talked about
Right.
using that budget line number for a cleaning service. But
Yeah.
it's gonna be kind of the same as when people rent it out, they're gonna have to have a deposit, it sounds like, for the cleaning fee. They can't just leave it in trash. And then if they don't clean it up, then that deposit will go toward that cleaning service coming in to clean it up, or they clean it up. Yeah, it'll probably be similar to that.
Is there showers there?
No.
There are no showers?
No.
But there are bathrooms?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, the locker room concept it's,
It's gone.
yeah, that space is used for other stuff.
Any other questions? Safety system.
We
Oh,
have,
next week.
Next meeting is June 24th, 4 o'clock, 7th City Hall.
we have not met and we're skipping June because Jerry's gonna be out of town, so our next meeting is gonna be July 9th at 4.
Yeah.
Public Works, Julie.
We have not met, so our next meeting is June 13th at 9 o'clock.
Scott?
We met to finalize the recommendation on the employee survey that you all approved. That was the extent of that meeting. Do you know anything we need to? The next meeting is TBD. I think we'll have some time in the next month or so to revisit the strategic plan and see what else we need to start getting on there as far as the performance indicators. We need to continue to make progress on those for the rest of those performance areas. So that'll be ongoing work.
Yeah, probably the results.
And we'll get the results and either bring them right to the council for review or whether we see them first or not. Doesn't know if that makes sense. So TBD on the next meeting for us.
Administrator, staff comments?
Nothing further.
Any further council comments? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Will we adjourn?
Second.
Moving second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes, we're adjourned. Jerry, I think this is the first meeting that you have